Hey CHEM1010 students, welcome to week 3. We are moving right along. We just finished week 2. I have some grading to do this week. I will be checking your work on quiz 2 and adjusting grades if necessary and checking for partial credit. And I will be grading the Penny Lab, and that involves the discussion board as well. So I'll be getting that grading done this week. You're starting on week 3 material, module 3 material. In preparation, you're also preparing for the midterm, which starts a week from today, a week from Monday. It starts Monday. So you're going to see, as we log into our class, a news announcement here about week 3, which I haven't made yet because I want to link the video. And then you're going to read that and jump into content. Weekly updates. Here is where the week 3 video will be. If you need to go back and review week 1 or week 2, you can absolutely do that. If you're doing two things. You are working on week 3 material and reviewing. So let's start with week 3. So module 3, this is the mole and stoichiometry. That's how you say that word. We only have one chapter this week, but it's long and it's intensive. Lots and lots and lots and lots of material and lots of calculations. And so make sure you read through that. You can always post if you have questions on our discussion board. I would start on the first homework as soon as possible, have it open, work some problems, do some reading back and forth, that sort of thing. The homework is going to work just like it did last week. We do have videos that go along with the reading, with practice and further explanations. And so you can find them here in the Chapter 5 videos. When you get to the homework, it's going to work the way the previous homeworks have worked. When you start it, all right, it's only going to give you the questions that you missed last time, but you can always go back and see what you've done. So I'm just going to randomly select some answers. I don't know. I'm not even reading the questions. All right. I think that one's right, though. And new is pages, simply because there's a periodic table at the top of each page. You can go back and forth between the pages. If I want to jump to question 12, I can click on it here. It takes me to page 2, and you'll notice at the top of each page is a periodic table. I'm going to do that for the chapters where we need to look at the periodic table. That's also going to be on your quizzes. It does have the names, and more importantly, it has the atomic masses, which is what this chapter is all about. And then you've got some information here, and then you've got questions where you type your answers. And then if you skip any, that's fine. If you want to go to the next page or the previous page from here, if you want to go directly to a question, you can do this. Again, you'll notice at the top of each page is that. And they're sort of grouped, but don't get hung up on the groups. Notice there are lots and lots of calculations. And then I'm going to submit my quiz. It's going to say you got all these that aren't done, and I'm going to say that's fine. I want to check the ones that I did. And so as I scan down here, I see I got this one right, but this one wrong. It's not telling me the correct answer, but it is telling me that I got it wrong. I can post on the discussion board if I really thought I got it right and I don't understand. And so it shows me the entire homework set. And as I look over here, I can see which ones I got right. Once I click away, I can always get back to that review on the quizzes page. That was homework 3, my one attempt. Oops, nope, that was homework 5, my one attempt. And if I click on this, or I can use this little drop down and look at my submissions, either one takes me to the same page, where I can get back to that page that shows me what I got right and what I got wrong, but no correct answers yet. The correct answers will show after it's due, before your quiz is due. But if you want to know the correct answer before then, post on the discussion board. All right, if I come back to this quiz page, you'll notice I can get back to old quizzes and old homeworks as well, just saying. And that's how I'm going to review for my midterm. All right, back to the content this week. Homework 5, homework 6. Homework 5 is a lot longer than homework 6. Homework 6 is a little shorter. There's my third quiz. Notice that the due date is Sunday. I'm going to make this a habit. We're shifting the due date of the quiz from Saturday to Sunday. If you still want to do it on Saturday, you can. It's open, but it's not due until Sunday. That way you've got a chance to look at the correct answers of both homework sets. That homework is still due Saturday, February 8th, which means you'll see the correct answers on February 9th. So if you want to wait until you see correct answers to do your quiz, you can wait till Sunday. But your lab is still due Sunday, so be careful. Don't let stuff pile up. You can get all the correct answers on your homeworks before Sunday by either getting them right or posting on the discussion board and asking those questions. All right. You can go back and see the homeworks after the due date. Even though this is due February 6th, I can go back and see it, and I can go back and work it. It just won't count for a grade. So I can still go back and practice. All right. Typical information about the quiz. You will have to do a show your work. There are lots of show your work questions. Now I can open the quiz now, but the minute I open it, the timer starts. So don't open it until you're ready, but I'm going to open it to show you sort of what it looks like. All right. Periodic table at the top. You get a sneak peek at that first question. There are 9 questions. There are lots of show your work questions. Lots. There are only 9 questions, but almost every single one is a show your work question. If I X out of that, my timer is going to stay running. So if I come back in an hour, I'm not going to be able to work on any questions because my timer's going to be gone. All right. The timer will not be paused, but I'm still going to exit. But you got a sneak peek at that first question. All right. So I'm messed up on the quiz. So I'm either going to take it now. If I accidentally open it, I need to take it, do my best, let my instructor know what happened. All right. But the homework's back and forth, in and out. Timer is meaningless on the homeworks. So that's your week 3 homeworks and quiz. Your week 3 lab, module 3 lab, is on nomenclature. Now this is the stuff we did last week in class, but here's more practice because it is going to be on the midterm. All right. Some of you struggled with the quiz. Some of you did great. Some of you struggled. Let me warn you, a lot of this you can Google, but I make up stuff, you may have noticed on the quiz, which means you can't Google it because it's not real and Google doesn't recognize it. We can still use our rules to name it, but you can't Google it. So you really have to learn the rules. So this lab is to help you firm up and solidify the rules. You can come in and out of the lab. You can, oh, my phone is talking to me about Googling things. All right. So you can come in and out of the lab. So you might want to open it early. It looks like I've already opened it, which is not a problem. And then work on it. And again, we see that periodic table. There are only 11 parts to it, but the parts do tend to be long. We've got some tables like we saw in the last Penny Lab, where you're going to put your cursor in there and type. There are some places for superscripts and subscripts on this lab since it's nomenclature. You can actually use the tool. It's under the underline here to superscript and subscript things. You also are welcome to, as you type this, if you want to just use that up caret, and then that's a 3+, I'll accept that. If you don't want to take the time to superscript it, like this would be magnesium, and then I would superscript 2+. All right. So either way, I'll accept that. But do indicate somehow that it is a superscript. On some of these, you'll have some subscripts. As I scroll on down, this is all about the ions. Again, you can make these boxes bigger. All right. And then here you're going to see some subscripts that you have to add here too. So again, box is bigger. So this one would be BA, BR, 2 subscripted. If you just type a 2, I'll take it. Or I can actually subscript the 2. And then this is barium bromide. All right. So this is your lab. There is no show your work on this lab. Sometimes there will be. This one there's not. Don't submit it until you're ready to turn it in. Otherwise, just close and then you can come back and finish it. All right, so as I look ahead, last thing is we have, after Module 3, we've got our midterm exam, and it begins February 10th, and there's nothing here yet. It will be showing before it opens, but it will not open until February 10th. Probably not 8 p.m., but anyway. But that's, oh, hang on. Is it February 10th? Let me look at the calendar real quick. It's Monday. Yep, it is February 10th. It won't be 8 p.m. That's a mistake on my part. I'll open it early on February 10th so that you can do it the 10th or the 11th. If we go back to our calendar and weekly updates, all right, I like the schedule view. February 10th and 11th. It will be due at 11:59 on February 11th. Module 4 will begin, and you'll have some accelerated dates. And again, I'm moving all the quizzes to Sunday, but the homeworks will stay. I'll update this soon. But Module 4 is a shorter module. It has less material in it. It's still a lot of calculations, but less material. Get you a good calculator or calculator app to use on your homeworks, your quizzes, and this exam to be in good shape for it. I can go back, and probably the easiest place to do this is on the quizzes page, and I can see any old attempts on homework, and I can start new ones. I have set them to be unlimited and not closed. I could start a new homework assignment if I wanted to. So I can start, even though I had an attempt, I can start a new homework assignment and I can work through it. And I can submit it and get it graded. And I can do that over and over again. I think it's still only showing me the ones that I missed, but I can see all the ones that I got right with the attempts. The quizzes will allow you to go back and see them with correct answers. After the due date, you see all the correct answers. So if I go back and look at my attempt on quiz 1, let me show you this. All right, I didn't do so great. I got this first one right. I only got 3/4 of the points for the second one. I got right. I missed that one. So I can go through and see what I got right, what I got wrong, and I can see the correct answer at this point. That blue arrow means there's the correct answer. I missed this one, but the correct answer was 2. So after the due date, the correct answers are indicated in blue typically. So you can go back and study for the midterm, study the correct answers. And if you have questions on any of those, post them on the discussion board. All right, guys, good work ahead. Busy week ahead with the third week with chapter 5 in the textbook. Please holler if you've got any questions.